ruined it.
Hello and welcome to MotorCult episode 29. Ryan did indeed ruin the intro once again.
I think it's 3 in a row.
I don't know.
Hello?
It's
Hello
not
there.
even worth it anymore. We have a guest today. Once again, we are joined by Charles Spaz Miller.
Yo.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. How about
Thanks
yourself?
for coming down. I'm doing swell. I mean, I've had better days. I've had worse days.
Yeah.
But today is kind of in the happy medium. We'll call it so.
Well, I
When
mean,
in doubt, you're not on fire. So
Yeah.
right?
No,
I mean, generally you have a worst day and a best day, and then everything else is not your worst day or your best
exactly.
day. So
We're somewhere in the middle.
Par.
Yeah, par is good. You know, I usually don't even do that. I usually bogey. I never even birdie, really. Ryan, what, you look like you're staring at something just like...
I'm just watching that magazine.
Oh,
I'm wondering,
it's a
Spaz,
brisk day.
You don't watch magazines, you read them, Ryan.
I can't wait to get to the point where we're talking about what you're driving here, because you're driving your most reliable car, which is actually the least reliable car
You know
of all
what?
cars.
Let's
pretty much.
let's
Let's
do this
preface-
first.
Actually,
let's not even talk about
wrong.
beer yet.
It is my least reliable vehicle.
But it's the one that's running.
It is the one that's running. I mean, the other one runs. It's just it misses a gear.
So, Spaz,
Perpetually.
you should explain to the audience what your stable looks like at
All right.
your house.
Okay, so my stable, I have 3 vehicles currently. I know I pale in the presence of
Just
people
don't even
like
worry
Eric.
about it.
It's fine.
I'm what you call an outlier. Gray area.
Really, no.
Yeah.
So I have my daily driver and tow vehicle is a 2007 Volkswagen Touareg V10 Tdi.
Yes.
It's what Ryan seems to think is my most reliable vehicle. I don't know if I believe him.
It's not the most reliable vehicle of all time.
No,
it's
no,
actually
absolutely
the
not.
least.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
No. That's a
Have you
4.2
done-
Touareg.
No. This one's,
I'm actually tempted to agree with Eric.
the 4.2s are pretty terrible, but I mean,
The V10s are fine. They're a lot more complicated.
do those have your turbos gone out yet?
In my ownership or in previous ownerships?
At all? Yeah, in previous ownership.
I'm the 7th owner.
Oh
It's
my
God. Well, you have to consider with these that at the price point they are, and
It's
the
almost
fact that
one per year.
the fact that they have they have the reputation they have for reliability. Keep in mind 2007, they'd been on the market for the original iterations on the market to be.
Try not to boop the microphone.
Yeah, I'm trying not
towards
to boop
Spaz.
the microphone.
Let's
It has-
just raise this up a little bit for you here.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's a little better.
I'm really animated when I talk, so my hands go
Yeah,
fucking
I see
everywhere.
that.
This would be one of the ones you'd want to watch as the video version, I guess.
Yeah.
No, because my hands just flail around. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
So you're the 7th owner of this vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and it's passed through many hands.
Yeah.
Has it been repossessed at all? Has it,
Not
Tucker
not
hasn't
that I'm
owned it.
aware of. I didn't. Yeah,
Hi,
damn it,
Tucker.
Eric. But not that I'm aware of. I didn't see anything like that on the history for the vehicle. But the big reason that they pass through so many ownerships is the reliability and the cost of the repairs on them. And it's not that they break all the time. It's that when they do break, it's generally very expensive. Service position is let me try to talk today. Minimum 20-hour job, because Volkswagen has a special bench that they designed specifically to service this vehicle, where you drop the entire
yeah, and then
front subframe.
Yeah,
so
it's
the
like
engine,
they confuse
the
themselves.
transmission, the front diff, all of that is dropped just to work on the majority of the engine.
Yeah, they
So-
confused their truck with a Ferrari.
Yes, they basically did.
Yo, dog, we heard you liked Ferraris.
So here's a pickup, or here's a SUV.
Pickup.
Right. So
Have you had any failure? Has it had any failure with like the the pneumatic suspension?
yes, actually,
Does it still have the airbags?
Yes, it does.
Fuck off.
I actually replaced the front right bag a couple weeks back. That side, since I bought the vehicle, has always kind of, after the vehicle's been sitting for a while, kind of sagged a little bit. So I had my suspicion that something was going on there. Well, finally, it just decided it was going to sit on the bump stop. And so when I tore it apart, I found that where the top hat meets the bag, there is an O-ring seal there, and that O-ring had corrosion that had passed beyond it. So I cleaned up the top hat, put a new bag in, and that's good to go.
Oh wow, that's shocking. I'm surprised that it didn't need like a pump or something.
Well, it did need the pump too, but it
So
burned out
really
the pump in
needed-
the process.
it's
of putting
Touareg
the bag,
thing.
so-
So in all reality, it really needed about $1,600 worth of stuff to get roadworthy again.
Yeah, and I basically through Rock Auto and Amazon. Those
Heck
aren't product placements.
Yeah,
got-
but they may as well be.
they may as well be.
I buy
You're not
so
wrong.
much shit through those companies.
But I ended up getting out the door for about $650. So with
That's
parts,
shocking.
and then I did labor myself.
That is
so.
shocking. Yeah, that's a great deal.
I'm
I
not
have
complaining.
yeah, those cars. A lot of people buy them because they're like, oh, it's an older full size SUV. Well,
It
it's
can
actually
tow so much.
when you see
And
it,
it's so cheap.
when you see it nowadays, it's about the size of a Rav4, like a Tiguan and the Touareg, same size. Like you
the
have them
new
part,
3-door Tiguan is longer.
yeah. Like when you see a Tiguan next to a Touareg,
Or
it's
not
they're
3-door,
they're
three row.
yeah, they're completely indiscernible from each other. Yeah, no, we have so many that go through it, like just because you get like these shady owners that own them. I have one that was sitting in the shop in the back for 9 months because we couldn't get a hold of the owner, and it like the car needed timing chain, so we did the timing chain. Then he just disappeared off the face of the earth without paying his full bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Then we got a call from the bank saying that they were going to repossess the car, and then when they offered to get the car from us, they offered us $1,200. I'm like, sir, there's $12,000 in storage fees on this, on top of a $7,000 repair.
Yeah.
Quality.
Like, that's going to be a pass, and do better.
Yeah, do better. If once you come to us with like 20 grand, then you can have the car. Anyway, let's talk about beer for
Yeah,
a
let's do
second.
beer before we jump into the rest of
Yes.
Spaz's cars.
I brought the beer this time.
Thank
It
God.
is one of my kind of drinking beers. I get this when I don't want to have
Just
no
hold it in
taste
front
anymore.
of that camera.
Oh,
Up. There, there we go.
Minnesota.
Touareg V10 in the background.
Yes,
All right.
Minnesota Gold Lager.
I just realized I hit the stream button instead of record, so I don't even know if this video is going to go anywhere, but the audio is good.
That might be a problem. Maybe you should record too.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to MotorCult.
I've never even seen the stream button before. Hari was helping me mess around with it today to get the multi-cam thing
What was
working.
it streaming to?
I don't fucking know.
Pornhub?
It says it's still streaming. It says it's 2,600 kilobits a second.
What's
It's
it-
going somewhere.
You can go into the OBS settings and see where it's streaming to.
Well, let's do that real quick then.
www.pornhub.com.
this beer. YouTube primary ingest server, and it has a key.
Well, if it's got a key, then it's going somewhere.
Yeah, but which channel? Is it
how-
going to MotorCult or is it going to Ovalbore?
We don't know. What do you think about the beer?
I love this stuff.
Yeah, Minnesota
I'm
Gold
always-
Lager is great.
Shocked at how inexpensive it is too when I go to buy beer.
Yeah, I got a 12-pack for I think $13 or
A
something.
nickel?
It was like 12 for $13. It was just over $1 a can.
I have to go beer shopping.
It was great.
If-
Yeah, Target, dude.
If it's worth anything, it's probably streaming to MotorCult because I don't actually subscribe to MotorCult on YouTube, and I don't have a notification
Well,
from
you
Ovalbore.
should.
You should be.
I should. I don't disagree with that, but I don't have an Ovalbore notification.
well then-
Oh, by the way, speaking of MotorCult, it is officially a business, Cult Media, as of last
Okay.
night.
Nice.
Cool.
Yay.
Yay! Congrats.
So anyway,
I'll be curious to see where the other cult.
Oh,
things
nope,
branch
just
off.
kidding. It's,
Is it?
maybe?
Is it streaming on Ovalbore?
Yes, it is streaming on Ovalbore.
perfect.
Oh, well, in that case, hello, all of the Ovalbore subscribers. This is an episode. This is an episode of MotorCult. I'll just.
This is Burger's other venture.
Yeah. Hello. That's anyway. All right, let's business as usual. I'm not stopping it now. So
So Spaz,
Mm-hmm.
you're here. You're our guest. You have a V10 Tdi Touareg for those of
which
us
I'll bring
that,
up full screen on the screen again. All right,
Yeah,
all right,
for those of us that are joining via YouTube and where we totally messed up the recording.
Well, hello, 10,000 subscribers worth of Ovalbore traffic. Anyway.
So I think I think at when you actually post this onto YouTube for the
Yeah.
first like 10 minutes or so, just show pictures of cats.
That's pretty much all I do on Ovalbore anyway.
Yeah, I mean like
Yeah.
for like just like have a picture of a cat.
I can
It'll
put
say
whatever
MotorCult
thumbnail.
on
I
it.
could put like naked tits on the screen. It'd probably still be fine.
Until YouTube flags
Until
it.
YouTube flags it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
piss jokes to probably flag it.
Anyway, so yeah, he get triggered.
Anyway, Spaz, let's talk about your other cars.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to talk more specifically about your Evo because I don't care about your
Evo.
GLI at all, but I do care about your Evo.
Oh, you got GLI too. God,
Yeah,
you really
I
are
have
just a massive.
I have a Mark V GLI that.
Oh,
I've-
2OT.
I said I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about it.
How many 2OT problems have you had? All of them?
Well, all of them that need to be fixed. I have 8 check engine lights, and that's the reason I haven't just sold it after I picked up the V10.
I would have just sold it because it's
I
gonna
want
be
more
more
money
expensive.
for it.
You're
I
not
can
gonna get more
desolder
money
the
for it.
LED.
I can put like $700 into it and get like $1,500 more for it on the market.
Does it have
How much is your
camshaft
time worth?
correlation codes?
No, actually, but it does need to have
Shocking.
the chain makes noise, so I do need to replace the chain on it.
I
but
would
it
run away
doesn't have
before you
codes.
spend a penny on it.
Whatever.
Light it on fire.
It's a timing
not-
chain. It's not a hard job.
Is it a
Said
is
no
it
one
a
ever.
FSI or a
It's
TSI?
an FSI.
That is an FSI, so it's the better
Okay,
of
it's
the
not
two.
that bad. Let's say if it's a TSI, you're in a world of pain.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
because those are belt-driven cam. That has a chain across the 2 cams, right?
Yes.
That's the FSI. The TSI is
Right. I know the TSI is all chain.
horrible nightmare from hell.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know.
Anyway,
So,
so Evo
skipping
time.
past that,
Yeah, let's talk about
Evo.
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 So
Designed by an Asbo.
I have an 06 Evo 9, and the car largely sits in the driveway. I don't drive it very often, except when I go to the track, because it's set up for the street class in Grid Life Time Attack.
Which we learned about from Matt a little bit
Mhm.
more about what grid life is, but I mean, feel free to give us your take on what the event is too. I mean, specifically like touch on your class, the all-wheel drive. I forget the actual name of it. Unlimited. Is
Nah,
it
it's-
unlimited?
No, I'm
The
not
street
unlimited.
something?
It's
I have no
street.
idea.
It's
You
the
have to have an
entry-
interior, right?
Yes,
Okay.
full interior. It's the entry level class, so
Okay.
it's we like to affectionately refer to ourselves as the Special Olympics of Time Attack.
Nice.
And it would, we have a lot of drama akin to that. So
Yeah.
it's actually a really close class with all of the top cars on pretty much any given year have been really close to each other. This year it does not really include me.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
Well, it's
well,
because
the
there's something
rear-wheel
happened
drive-
to your car, didn't
well,
it?
the rear-wheel drive guys have kind of really stepped up this year, and so we have a C7 Stingray in the class that's been cleaning things up.
stupid. Stupid car.
We've had a Mustang that's been around for the past couple years, but he really stepped things up. He fixed some suspension issues where the car was trying to kill him, and probably everybody else because there were crowds there. But he's got everything sorted, and that car is very fast. And then, of course, you have Jackie Ding, who drives an S2000, and he's just absolutely insane.
Nah, that's a cool car.
Yeah, no, it's
He
it's
is an
absolutely
interesting
ridiculous.
character.
He is
I'm
an interesting
suddenly-
He's
character.
usually wearing like a fursuit.
He
Oh my.
he
He's
at,
not-
at
he's not a
Mid
furry, I don't
Ohio
think, but-
had a Pokemon onesie on in the
I saw
in
the
the
video of
drivers
that.
meeting and some of the interviews. It was really entertaining to make fun of him.
The video guy I watched on YouTube, I don't remember who it was, but he kept calling you Charlie. I'm like,
Well, the problem is that my rival Eric DeWitt, Dewey,
Okay.
he calls me Charlie, and so
Oh.
Jackie has started calling me Charlie, and it's just kind of stuck from there. I will have words with them about that. But,
Okay, good.
Yeah, Dewey thinks he can make it stick. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't stick.
sounds
It's
good.
just
I
weird.
prefer Spaz.
Yeah, Spaz or Charles is a better name.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not immune to having made fun of people's names, though. Shockingly.
No way, Ryan.
No.
For the last week,
I'm hurt.
for the last time, every time a customer calls up at work and they have a question that's really more suited for the other service advisor, I reference him as Steve, not Keith, because everybody, whenever they call up, he says his name is Keith, and they call back and say, "Hey, can I talk to Steve?"
Oh, I get that all the time.
I don't understand how that works. You get called Steve too?
No,
People
I don't
call
get,
me
I don't
Derek.
get Steve, but
Yeah,
I get
that makes sense.
Even when I spell my name out.
yeah, I get Gerald on the phone at work. Like customers just don't listen.
No.
And I mean I won't claim to enunciate the best, but like I mean Charles, Gerald.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like you're a
I've
dog
gotten-
with Nutella in its mouth, basically.
No,
Yeah.
I've gotten a bunch of different weird ones, and I just roll with it. I've stopped correcting people. 'Cause
My
it's
favorite
just
one.
not
Have
worth
you
my
ever
time.
heard Randy Stern address Jana?
No.
He goes Jana.
Oh.
Like he unhinges his jaw for the A's. It's like really weird.
That's just how he does it, man. I
It's
don't know.
very strange.
Ugh.
Yeah, people are weird. Well, all right. Let's do the standard questions here.
Yes.
I want to talk
boy.
about the standard questions. Burger, you can start with that.
All right, Spaz. Would you rather drive a slow car fast or a fast car slow?
Well, considering I'm in the slowest time attack class possible, I think. I
And you
think
do
that
very
answers-
well in it.
I try to do well in it.
You do very well in it.
Yeah. I like to drive slow cars fast. It's a
That's
ton
the
of
correct
fun.
answer. Sounds good.
That is the correct answer indeed. Next answer, or next question.
Next question.
Is you've been given a 1984 Ferrari Mondial GTS hardtop with no
It's not
engine.
a GTS. It's just a Mondial QV.
Quattro Valviole hardtop.
I think he mixes Valvole and Ravioli together and creates
Ravioli.
Valviole.
I can't speak Italian, dude.
ravioli fucking sucks. It keeps breaking my teeth.
Valvioli. Give me the Formioli.
Quattro Valvole.
Quattro Valvole.
Ravioli.
Ravioli. And it does not have an engine or transmission.
Mm-hmm.
You need to put an engine in it. It cannot be the original because the original is worth more than the car, and it's just stupid.
So, yeah.
You cannot cut any sheet metal. It has to come with either a manual transmission or an over-the-counter manual transmission adapter kit. We are retiring the Honda K series from this list,
And we'll go with
everybody
the
says
LS
that.
too.
And the LS does not work either.
Oh, I was going to throw out the LS4 just as a joke
No.
because I know you guys would like off yourselves.
You don't want to use the LS4. You can use an LS3 with a swap.
No, but the problem is we've retired the LS.
Yeah.
Because everybody's putting up the same answers. LS, K20, LS, K20. they don't think it over. Yeah. They don't think it over. Like,
What if
he
I was
said-
going to say a K24?
That's
no,
already been
the
said.
Honda K series is out.
We've had K24. We've had K20.
We have had K23 Turbo.
Which is, I think that's a better answer now because I realize that they are actually really easy to get your hands on.
Yeah, that's a great
Super
car.
easy.
But the I said a 13B or sorry, a 12A rotary with a carburetor and tuned up really high. You only have to hit 240 horsepower. It's a really attainable amount of power to make these days. And Berger said a Camry V6 with a supercharger, basically.
Yep, 3.3 Camry V6 with a TRD blower on it.
So,
Well,
Spaz, what do you choose?
obvious answer. What is that?
I don't know what's happening on the TV right now.
That is 9 pixels. That is.
If you squint your eyes, you might be able to turn it into 3 pixels.
Was this supposed to be something?
For me, would be the 4G63.
That's to be a very quickly retired engine as well.
Right. I mean, it's just, but the problem is that it's. I mean, we're talking about technology that's so old. Like, I mean, the engine was developed in the 70s. It's old.
It's very old.
Japanese iron block.
Oh, yeah,
it's
the block
it's
is
very
very
capable.
old. Well,
I
some
mean,
of them are.
When you talk about guys that are making, 900,000 horsepower out of
Yeah, it's true.
out of
900,000
out of a 2-liter block. That's
Which originally was
ancient.
developed as a pair in Noah's Ark.
Yeah, exactly.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that engine has been around since the dawn of man. Like when you think of the first car that had a 4G
The
in
10th
it.
commandment, they ran out of granite. They just carved it into a 4G63.
So, just so you know how old the 4G63 is, Burger, do you remember the second generation Dodge Challenger?
Sure do. I think it's awful.
Yeah,
The
that was
Malaise era.
from like the early 80s.
The bottom end is
Yeah.
probably the same.
That's also like one of my favorite Japanese cars. But that was the first car to ever have a 4G in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I like it is because you have independent rear suspension, a 5-speed manual transmission, 4G, which
it's
is pretty
still a
fucking
terrible
cool.
car. For
No,
the
it's
time, it's probably pretty good, but it's still a horrible vehicle.
No, the one we got sucked. But
I guess I'm only aware of that one.
the Dodge Galant Lambda was the first one.
Yeah.
Or not, Mitsubishi Galant Lambda. That was the first one to have a 4G in it. It was an NA4G.
Galant.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Galant Lambda, one of the coolest Japanese cars.
So, in what sort of trim spec? What's your donor? What's your setup?
Clearly, it'd be a Galant Lambda.
Well, I mean, at this point, with all the development that's happened to that engine, I mean, the obvious answer is out of an Evo 9, where you have random holes drilled into oil galleries to feed variable valve timing and all that fun stuff.
Ah,
where
the
it's
Myvec motor.
Yeah, where it's basically the pinnacle of what that engine could become.
The ultimate version.
Yeah, I mean that's the way to go. And I mean you don't have to mess with it, so it can be reliable. You just drop it in stock form, maybe throw a tune at it, but otherwise there's your 200.
Throw a tune at it.
There's your 200 some horsepower. If you want to make 300, tune it.
Yeah, actually, I mean he's got .280 right there. Boom, and factory reliable. You're already going faster than the original engine, and probably making more torque. So
It sounds a little goofy, but that's fine. That's at least it's something else.
no, he did say a normal engine, but a very particular variant of a normal engine.
That wasn't the first time we had somebody say 4G, was it?
No, it
I
wasn't.
don't think so.
No, we've had Kua said 4G
Oh yeah.
because he's a Mitsubishi guy.
No way.
But yeah, I know, shocking.
I didn't get that when I drove his Mirage. All right, let's transition over to that B310.
Yes, remember that B310 we talked about in
Of course I
episode
do.
19?
Yes.
Yeah. So that guy's relay tow is completed.
Nice.
It's in Wisconsin now.
Hell yeah.
This is the shit though.
That's
He
super
needed to
cool.
replace the spark plug wires, or a spark plug wire rather, I should specify. Put a battery in it, drench the carburetor in carb cleaner,
Yeah.
and drain the gas tank, put in fresh gas, and it started.
Oh my god.
That
That's
is-
awesome.
That is actually impressive.
I'm pulling
Yeah.
up to the
It was everyone and find the full story, but it's very interesting how they he found it on Google Maps. Like he was like he found out he had an estranged sister, and like goes on Google Maps like after his estranged sister said like, yeah, dad had some property down in like rural, like not even rural, like out in the middle of the desert. And he goes on there and he goes, what is that? And he zooms in right close. He goes, it kind of looks like a wagon. It's like he had somebody go out and like verify it, and like they started out with a Ford Escape and like blew out a tire and fucked up the paint.
Oh yeah.
Turned
one
around,
does.
got a Nissan Titan, did the same thing, but the Titan made it because Nissan's better than Ford. And they verified that the Datsun, also a Nissan, was there.
Thank you for clarifying that Datsun is also Nissan.
Well, because if it was a Ford, you know it would not work ever because it has
Oh,
some weird
okay.
electrical problem.
I'm sure the brakes just failed on the Titan.
Probably, yeah. So I make fun of Ford so much, but they're really my favorite American company. But anyway, so this couple like went out there to like confirm that the car was there, and then they had to figure out a way to get it back. They like devised this like relay tow through the Wrenching Network, which is a Facebook group for mechanics, and then they relay towed it back, got it running. His plan is he's not gonna drive it in winter or anything, obviously, but once October hits, he's gonna pull it into his garage and start disassembling everything and actually begin the restoration properly.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really cool.
I mean, I can imagine that the paint has your typical Arizona sun fade on it.
That and
more
the dust
so.
storms.
Like there's not a piece of glass or plastic or cloth in this car that's left.
I believe it.
It is a chassis and a running engine and some tires. And that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a vehicle we actually had at the shop recently where there was it was caught in some level of dust storm locally, and yeah, we almost totaled it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
it was.
The paint
it was
wasn't so
impressive.
spookum, huh? All right.
No, it was. It was almost the glass. It was the glass that almost pushed it over the edge.
Interesting.
Oh,
Because we
all
had to
the glass
replace
broke?
we had to replace almost every piece of glass on it. No, it didn't break, but it was just so sandblasted on
So
3/4 of the
wh-
vehicle. that-
where did they have this dust storm?
I have
like,
no
did they like drive into a time portal and like time warp back to like 1930?
I honestly have no idea where or how it happened. I know it was local, and I mean the only reason I knew anything about it was because we had to deal with the glass on it.
Sorry, I had to do that. It's completely unrelated, but I felt like it fit pretty well.
All right. Anyway, Burger.
Alpha 4C.
Yes,
I like this thing. Other than the fact that it's a dual clutch only,
it's a cool car.
it is a cool car. It has a nice sounding engine. I mean, it's a derivative of the Abarth engine, so it makes sense. But they're discontinuing the coupe.
Yeah, because it
Like,
doesn't
we can
make
still get
sense.
the
The
open
Roadster,
top one.
yeah.
But the coupe's going away.
Yeah, nobody cares. The Roadster is literally as good in every way.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, because it's a carbon tub, and I'm a huge convertible proponent, so, like, I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but it's just news. It's it's a thing. There you go.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how the hell you make the engine run. Not well, I'm guessing, but you could put a manual transmixer on it for sure.
That's pretty funny.
That's I mean, it's a fun car. I don't really.
It's a cool car. I just thought that was kind of noteworthy that's
A used one of those is still worth a lot of money. I looked into it recently because I'm just like, oh, what's a used mildly exotic
it
car?
looks really cool.
Yeah,
and it's like
it's
attainable.
gorgeous, yeah. But it's still like a used one's like 55 plus.
I would say like that. I feel like that's gonna do like the NSX thing, where it's just gonna tank
I hope so.
and then
I'll buy
in
one then.
value and then blow up in price later.
I'll just
on
like
in
put some
life.
paper clips
Yeah.
in the dual clutch transmission plug so it thinks it's in there, and then I'll put a manual in it and it'll be fine.
Perfect. Then they'll be worth even more. Well, because at the NSX, everybody
The
goes, "Oh, it's just a
key-
Honda," and then everybody that 25 years later drove every other supercar and said, "Wow, the NSX actually is."
Wow,
a
that one
really
still
good
runs.
car. This is kind of cool. I
Yeah.
get to have the full effect of my 308 GTI or GTS or whatever the fuck trim level you have.
No, whatever. Some
And-
sort of 308.
Yeah, you have it drives like my 308, except now I can afford to buy it instead of have to take out a mortgage.
But Ryan, how will you overcome buying the Spider version? It was 22 pounds more than the coupe. It's basically going to take forever to get to 60.
God, it's ruined now, isn't that 22 pounds?
That's
Dude,
22 pounds.
It's like people who are buying an 88 through 91 Civic
Okay.
say the only one they want is the 88 because it doesn't have crash beams in the doors and it saves 18 pounds to the weight
so
of
it's
the
like the
vehicle.
people that want the airbag E30s or
Yeah.
don't, for that
Yeah.
matter.
It's just stupid. Like who cares?
Oh, weird. It's easy to take all that stuff out with standard tools.
Yeah, you don't want the door. You want the
It's fine.
crash bars in your doors. You have a
There's
Dremel.
do you have a
can
thumb?
Dremel
Yeah.
it off. It's fine.
They're literally bolted into
Sawzall,
E30s.
cut off wheel, whatever, doesn't matter. You can get rid of them. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I
13 mil
honestly, I'm
speed
pretty-
wrench.
I think they just tackled him in, so I think a Dremel might do the job.
You can-
But
I mean, even that, yeah, if you're motivated enough, it's not that big a deal.
No,
But,
absolutely
literally
not.
on E30s, you can unbolt them.
so, I'm gonna just use this time to talk about something else that this car has, which is cruise control, which is kind of cool.
Is it dynamic cruise or just standard?
I don't know or care.
Okay.
And
But it has it.
We were talking when we were watching Rocky Horror on Thursday.
That's a
and
terrible
it was-
movie, by the way.
I try to like it so
It's just
so
bad.
much. And it's just I
At
can't.
least be picture-in-picture in some 1999 computer building.
So we were talking about. What were you gonna say?
It's a movie that you have to make entertaining by doing all of the actions that are captioned on the bottom of the screen. But I don't know if you guys watched that version. The theater version, after a while that they were out, they were
No, this is the Laserdisc one, so it was
Okay.
original release.
Okay.
It was not good.
Oh, it
yeah,
wasn't
like,
great.
They started captioning them in the movie theaters where there's
Oh.
like at the bottom, like you know the scene where they're running through the through the rain with the newspaper over their
Yes.
head.
Yes.
Yeah. So that there would be like, for example, cover your head with newspaper would be on the bottom of the screen. People would bring all this shit to do it, and so that's how you basically got through the movie.
That sounds like making me work when I'm deliberately trying to do nothing.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So anyway, when we were watching this, and Tucker was greatly enthused.
Weird. I wonder why.
So when we started talking about a cruise control, like a racing series.
Oh, dude, yes.
Where cars can only have no. This is on 4th of July actually. That we talked about this.
This
Cars
was
can
Independence
only
Day, yeah.
race with cruise control. It's actually
If you hit the brake, you're done. You're
yeah.
DQ'd.
It's a DNF.
DNF.
But the thing is that not only does that test the quality of that car's cruise control,
Right.
you're also testing the car's handling
Mm-hmm.
because every time you change your speed, it will take a long time to decrease or accelerate.
Yep.
So your suspension and tire setup are key to that.
Yeah, every corner is a momentum corner, so you have to set everything up to handle momentum.
You have to know
corners.
the corner
Exactly.
speed really well, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
not hit anyone else.
It's a measurement of how much torque to weight the vehicle has.
An electric car would be perfect for this because
Yeah.
they regen
Oh,
hard
yeah.
with cruise control. Like
Yeah.
if I just press and hold the button on the E, it's just like, ooh, here we go.
So yeah, that would be really cool. What other rules would we have on that though?
So if you hit the brakes, DNF, DQ.
Yep, hit the gas
um,
pedal, DNF. Actually, I would say just take the gas pedal and remove it.
No, well, no, because you need to be able to get it up to speed in the first place. So you need the gas pedal.
I'm sure that you could probably.
Most cars, it's like 25 minimum, and like they're not going to idle above 8 or so.
I mean, he's
I'm-
not wrong.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that like for the race cars, for the racing series, you can like modify the cruise control computer to say, hey,
I think that's too.
Start from stop.
That's too much for a racing series. Most
Okay.
people, that's like a barrier to entry we don't want.
I think there should be maybe like a brake pedal switch that's on the gas
I think
pedal.
a micro switch on the gas pedal,
And
so if
once
it
it-
detects any compression after you've set your cruise,
Yeah,
you're done.
I think that'd be another good way to do that.
Other than that, though, like I don't think we should really have limitations on like tire or
No,
type of car.
everything else should be exactly like
Yeah.
you'll have basically an F1 car with cruise control eventually.
Yes.
Has to be a production chassis. Let's have that rule.
Just figure out the slowest corner speed in the entire track and do a lap of just that first. And then just sort of pick it up from there, baby. I think it would be a ton of fun because you
Oh,
do
it'd
have
be
a
a
brake
riot.
pedal.
yeah.
If you're about to hit somebody, you're going to lose the race, which is fine. But
Yeah.
like, should we? If somebody hits the pedal and they're DQ'd, do you let them just like keep going on the track for fun?
Yeah, because I mean, if you're doing a series,
Just
you
to
can
create
still
more
get
traffic?
points for best.
Well,
For best lap time.
Are
you
we
get a
going to
point.
have a spirit award?
well, at the same
Yes.
time, why not? Why not? If I mean, obviously, if you're using the throttle DQ, I mean,
Yeah.
if you get in a situation where you need to use the brake, as someone who has been on
I-
track without
I
any
think-
brakes, at
what
one
about
point in their
this?
life, I would say,
What if you have
I would say
one
why not
situation
do?
of braking?
Well, I mean, not even that. I would say why not make it just a ridiculous drive-through penalty? So something where even if they can make up time by using the brakes,
Okay.
using the brakes is just so time
Okay.
inefficient based on the penalty that there's,
like a
there's no
30
reason to
second
do
penalty.
it. Yeah,
or like
exactly.
make it a points-based thing and take points away for it, or like do
Yeah.
penalty laps potentially.
Just a drive-through penalty in the pit.
Okay,
I
alright.
like that.
Yeah, I like that. Or like a 30-second lap time penalty if it ends up being a time attack thing.
And then ban the person from the series if they do it twice.
Aggressive.
Eric Berger, the most aggressive draconian race official ever.
Hey man, the cars can't be that old. They need cruise control.
56 in the pits. On the pike you go.
Hey man, I did watch Live and Let Die last night, so
That's a great movie.
it actually is really great. Corey had never seen it before.
It's one of those movies like it's not by any means the best James Bond movie, But it's
truth
a
be told,
really
it's
good
really
movie.
not that great. But like the boat racing scene
The
is
boat
like
scene.
the best thing in
when
the
they're
70s.
when they're in Harlem and like the awesome like Barris headlights on the Cadillacs, the giant peace sign headlights, so sick.
Oh, anyway, wow, digression. All right, so other rules for this cruise control racing series. It levels the playing field on its own. It doesn't
It
matter
really
what
does.
you drive
Yeah.
because you can't go that fast.
No, because
Like,
you have a Ferrari and your
like,
Ferrari
you're gonna have nothing for consumable because there's no friction brakes being used. Like it's gonna be super fuel efficient because you
I
can't
guess
go that
the
fast.
other question is, do you run a wider tire or a narrower tire?
Oh, for sure,
for the-
wider.
Well, yeah, but rolling resistance, though.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You're gonna want more rolling resistance because it'll slow you faster.
Yep.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But
And
it's-
then
So you're
you
gonna
have
want to
more
run
corner
like
grip.
Hoosiers, like 385 Hoosiers on your Fiat 500.
yeah, but then you have the guy that with the tiny little tires that's actually accelerate at a reasonable speed.
Just leave it third. You're gonna be going like 30 miles an hour anyway. And I think we should probably limit it to technical tracks because if you're doing cruise control on like Brainerd Long Course,
Road America.
oh yeah, turn 5 cruise control is probably fine. Just don't
Actually,
worry
that
about
would
it
be really interesting, or like really entertaining to watch. Because
until somebody dies.
well, no, yeah, basically. But hey, when was Formula One the most interesting?
The late 1980s to early 1990s.
Exactly when everybody died.
And they had no
What
downforce and
is-
1600 horsepower.
What is
Yeah.
everybody's favorite rally race? Or rally racing series?
Group B.
Group B, exactly. When did people actually get
So
a
what you're
shit
saying is
about
we should have like
NASCAR?
minimum 600 horsepower cars or something for this and only do it on long courses?
Yeah, maybe. That might be the point.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to say no, but it seems like that might lead to a lot of legal issues later on, and I want this series to succeed, even though it doesn't necessarily seem like I do.
Listen, everybody loves touring car because of the crashes.
Okay.
So maybe not killing people, but crashes.
Well, are we gonna
makes
do the-
racing interesting.
Can we, like, bring it outside of the USA?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, like,
Have it in like India.
no,
Be great.
no, I was thinking, like, at least start in the UK so we can speak English to people. Like, do one at Silverstone.
Yes, that'd be great. Donington.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, they have such great names for tracks. Ah, it's Donington. Ah.
What's the name of this air base? RES.
Bruntingthorpe.
REF Bruntingthorpe. All right, so
That's probably enough of
speaking of English,
Yes.
I do want to talk about Silverstone because the
Okay.
Civic Type R
Oh, nice.
yet again set a new lap record with 2 minutes 31 seconds and 32 seconds, 31 seconds point 32.
0.32.
0.32. Yes,
If you're saying it like a British person.
I don't care.
British.
British.
So the track's
Sporting crumpet,
3.66 miles long, and that means you have about 3.5 miles
I like
of
your
not
notes in here.
having to look at the completely disgusting looking brand new Civic Type R.
It literally says in the notes, the Civic Type R is still painfully ugly.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
That is just its own sentence fragment.
It literally is.
They
Such
do
a
not
good
look
car,
good.
but yeah, wow, those are
It's-
tragic.
that is.
Could you put a stock Civic like sport body kit on it or no?
You put that engine into a stock Civic,
I
yeah.
don't care about that. I want
Yeah,
the,
but what
the
it-
Type R is a great car.
I know, but the only thing that makes a special suspension Civic and engine, and you can just stick all that.
How
into the
about I
normal
just
one.
buy a Honda Element EX all-wheel drive 5-speed and just make that turbo?
I've been recommending you do that for a while. So the
Sounds
thing is,
good. That'll
the thing
basically
is,
be a Civic Type R.
well, the thing is with the Civic
Except
Type R,
better.
like
So I can put a TV in it.
it just
And you can hose
hurts
it
to
down
look
after
at
activities.
so much, and I don't
I
know
read
if
the owner's manual. It says do not hose the interior out.
that's hilarious.
But you can. Why would they tell you not to?
They say they strongly advise against hosing the interior out. Anyway, sorry.
As I say, with the Civic Type R, it just hurts to look at so much.
Yep.
Like, it's everything like high
That is
school
very
me,
overstyled.
High school me would have killed to have this car on paper
Oh, yeah.
because like it's everything I've ever wanted. And of course, Honda being Honda,
High school, you would have
Like-
been killed if you had that car.
yeah, probably.
Also true.
But but the thing is,
Semantics.
Honda being Honda, like they're gonna give us the Type R finally, but it's gonna be just as ugly as a foot.
Yeah.
Like just leave it to them. But they're
They're
not
laughing.
yeah, they totally
at us.
are because they're not gonna give us any of the good looking ones. They're
No.
gonna wait till it gets really giant and gross looking.
It's still a great car, though.
It's a great car. I don't know if I'd actually want it.
Hi, Motor Trend. I see you're making friends with the wind.
So yeah, my question is,
Okay.
Would anybody here actually buy a Civic Type R? Because I'm
If
like,
it was cheap enough, I would.
If I didn't have to look at
I would buy one in black.
that's the thing.
though.
Is like,
If you buy one in black, you can't see it as well.
yeah, I get different wheels for sure because the stock wheels are just terrible.
I
with a
would
little red
rather
ring on
buy
them.
it and then do a body swap on the Element.
You know, Hasport's working on doing mounts for the new L15 engine, L15B engine, which this engine I think is a derivative of.
Yeah, it is.
I would absolutely put that into a second generation Civic because that's what they're doing the mount kits for. Or
I would put that into a
Civics.
Fit and daily it.
That'd be super funny.
God, yes.
Yeah. Or
Um,
do a Spec B in it and just acknowledge that you're never gonna do any of the racing points thing and just have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically HPD,
So we
that
haven't.
bad boy.
I have been bothering you about your idea of wanting to do a turbocharged Element,
Yes.
and I really think you should.
I'm waiting for the guy to respond to me on Craigslist.
I've been like showing him like
asked
all
him
the
how the
different
clutch
ways. I've been showing him all the different ways to make a K series fast. Like you can make like a 500 horsepower NA. You can do whatever you want.
There's so many ways to make a K
It's
series
unfortunate
fast.
that
It's
the Element
dumb.
apparently has the shittiest K24 in it, but
Which is just fine.
Still
It's
400
just
horsepower.
You're
fine.
gonna
capable.
you're gonna take it all apart and change all that anyway. So
no, I'm not.
No, he's not.
why not?
It's a $2,000 Honda Element. Why would I do that? I'm gonna unicorn this
Posterity.
thing. Unicorn. Cheap boost spaz.
I would.
Cheap
I would. I'd
boost.
run the K24 A4.
Four,
Yeah, the A4 until it blows up,
Yeah, I would do that.
and then get yourself like an A1 or something.
As long as it doesn't like window the transfer case or the trans or something, it'd be fine.
I think you're gonna be okay.
Just let out as soon as the rod goes.
Yeah, I would.
I've seen transfer
You've seen me
cases
send it.
windowed
I have never windowed
on
anything.
Evos.
Oh.
I've seen people stay in it long enough to window the transfer case.
How do you do that?
Cylinder 4 lets go, and then you don't notice, or you're too high of RPM, or you go, this is fine, like a buddy of mine in Texas did, and stay in it.
I heard like a very faint pitter patter in my Porsche, and I turned it off.
Yeah, and then what was it? Spun rod
Number
bearing?
one rod bearing let go,
Yep, exactly.
but it didn't window anything, and therefore the engine was worth $800.
Yeah. When I heard rocks in a blender in my transmission this past weekend, I kind of wasn't sure it was my transmission, so I got back into it, and then it was in neutral while in gear. And then I said,
Weird. I could have sworn there was a third gear here before.
And I was like, I swore fourth gear was here before, and I was like, I don't have a time on this
Maybe
on
it
this track
moved.
configuration.
Oh.
I'm gonna set it with third and fifth. I mean, I launched the entire transmission. I'll have to replace every single interior piece of that.
Every Evo in the
Still
world
more
is blown
reliable
up
than a
by
Volkswagen.
transmission. Every single Evo on Earth is blown up with a transmission. That's just part of owning an Evo.
Well, any MR, not all the 5-speed guys do. If you don't track them, they're fine. If you
I'm
track
pretty
them, fourth
sure,
gear has
As I
has
say, Josh
issue.
Sealing perpetually since I've known him has had fourth gear problems in his Evo.
Oh yeah.
And he's had power anywhere between like 890 and 500 horsepower on that car. And
Why
it's
would you
always-
start with the high number?
Well, it was built really high, and then I think they
Oh, so
detuned
it's
it for
expressed as old
reliability.
Evo.
Yeah, it's a really cool car. Actually, I like that car a lot. It's the first
Yeah.
like actually fast car I was ever in.
Yeah,
I
I
also-
don't have anything. I don't have anything nearly that fast. I got Brexit.
Well, you're gonna have a Honda Element that's that fast.
That's not going to be as fast as Brexit.
You're gonna have a Honda Element
It's
that's
not
that
going to be
fast.
as fast as Brexit.
Not with
I'm
that
gonna,
attitude.
I'm gonna take that manual boost controller and just let it rip. Just keep twisting it.
I'm going to need electronic boost control because I'm going to need a towing tune. Because I'm not going to run like 17 PSI while I'm pulling a trailer. I
Why
think
not?
17's nothing.
That is going to make a lot of heat issues. Those don't have piston squirters.
Yeah, probably. Run E85.
Anyway, let's talk about this later. I'll let you know if I end up with an Element. We can make it fast.
Yeah, you know what's actually insanely fast and does not need E85 to keep it cool?
Any non-Volkswagen?
Yeah,
product?
basically. No, a Tesla actually.
Oh yeah, those are really fast.
So they finally
Some of them.
5,000 cars per week is their production goal for the
Wow,
Model
and they've
5
been around
Model
for
3.
only almost 10 years.
Yeah, I know, right? Shocking. That's just for the Model.
Proud of you.
That's just for the Model 3.
Yay, achievement unlocked.
Of course, there are some caveats to this. They did hit the 5,000 car per week production goal for
Is
the
that-
Model 3 in a tent.
It wasn't a tent.
Oh
You're,
my
you're
God.
not
It was in a
wrong.
tent.
I'm gonna try to pull this up. When does the tax credit thing go away?
I don't know, but they're
Hopefully before Piss Jugs buys
And
one.
they're also trying new production techniques while they're doing this by pushing robots and humans to their breaking point. And
mean- That's not gonna
so
work.
cool.
Fuck it.
yeah, no, he's like, hey, I get 5,000 cars per week with an electric car. Yeah, how are you gonna do that? We got other things to make too. He goes, well, we got a parking lot. Let's make a tent. Like that's just, I love it. I love it.
I love that the production capacity is limited by the square footage of their floor, like not by anything else. Apparently,
I think it is
I
actually.
thought it was like a battery limitation.
No, I think it's actually the size of the factory.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I should probably just make them multiple places.
So, Burger, tell us about the Virtue beater cars.
Okay, so I don't know if this is a thing all over the country or not. Because like if I lived in Florida, I don't know if I'd really give a crap if I had a beater.
Yeah,
But like, I probably would. Because I mean, you're always gonna get door dings. You're always gonna have something that's like I don't care if
Oh,
I
yeah.
throw like a rusty engine block
really,
in the trunk.
Do you really want to park like a priceless 4-cam 356A on South Beach and just have the ocean spray rust it into pieces while
You
you're
know,
swimming?
No, but I'm of the opinion if you're gonna buy something nice, you may as well fucking drive it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you may as well drive it, but I mean, like,
But yeah, within reason.
you're not going to
I'm
drive.
not gonna drive it.
You're
in
not
the
going to drive the
winter.
Ferrari in winter, and you're
That's
not going to.
850.
Where'd the Ferrari go?
That's at my house because
Oh.
I've been driving it all week.
Well, anyway, you're not going to drive the 850 during winter.
Hi 850. Yeah, that's true. I did drive it in one snow thing one time because it was my only running car at the time. I was like, well, both my 830s are dead, and my wagon has a flat tire. So 850.
First world problems.
The active stability control worked beautifully. Wonderful system. Regulated power wonderfully. But no. So the virtual beater cars up here is mainly you hear the term winter beater. That's why we need beater cars, because we have so much fucking road salt. It just annihilates anything nice. So
Yeah.
if you drive your nice car in or around those times of the year, which is half the year, you're going to ruin it in the next 3-4 years.
I really like beater cars because it helps me explore the automotive world a little bit.
Well,
does.
it explores my limits for sure.
Well, I mean, like, because I don't. When I buy a beater car, I'm not gonna buy like the same shit I normally have. I'm not gonna buy like, a clapped out like a 91 Civic or a clapped out Mazda 5.
Oh, so you're branching out.
I branch out into other cars because I want to like there are cars
I
where it's
don't.
like
Well,
I
aren't you
don't-
cultured?
I don't want to buy
Aren't
like
you motor cultured?
Oh.
there's a car that I'm like interested in. I like that motor cultured. But anyway, there are cars where I'm like, I'm curious what they're like to own, but I don't. Can I help you, Burger? Thank you. All right. Anyway,
Shameless plug for ourselves.
so there are cars where it's like I want to try it, but I don't want to spend $2 or $3 grand to get an actual nice version. A
Yeah.
perfect example are CA Accords, like
Okay.
the flip up headlight Accord. I got that as a winter beater. My first one I ever bought, I got for $150 in a subwoofer I found in a dumpster with 76,000 miles on it. But the only issue is it had been parked outside since 1986. Every
Yeah, that's-
single winter.
That tends to take its toll.
Yeah, so the body was shot, but the interior and the engine were flawless.
Yeah.
I love that car. It was a great car. And I actually ended up flipping it for like, I think I sold it for like $1,800 after I put an exhaust on it. Because the guy's like, "Is no miles?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, buy it." And he did.
Like that means it's
It's
a cream
nice when it
puff.
works that way.
But no, I like it. That's not the only one. Like my MR2, I've had a lot of like really cool cars I otherwise
Yeah.
would not have branched out to.
Yeah, I
own.
don't buy like uncool things, but yeah, I agree. Like I'll occasionally do something like I wouldn't normally buy a nice one of.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
My last beater was a '98 V8 5 Series. I was like, I would never ever buy a V8 BMW, but it
Oh,
was
no.
$350. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I got a manual that'll fit that thing. I'll just let it rip.
I think my next
Thing turned into a pretty nice car. So
my next V8 car, you know, and when after me and Jan finished buying a house in your
I'm
neighborhood.
excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited
Pumped
too.
to have you guys as neighbors.
But I kind of want to get a C4 Corvette as a
Dude,
winter
please
beater.
do. Please do.
So badly.
Yes.
I want to get one because they're just so worthless.
Just
And
undercoat the frame a little
I'm
bit.
like, I'm curious. I wouldn't even do that because I'm going to sell it. But it's like, I'm curious about them.
At least undercoat the brake lines.
And like, yeah,
Oh,
probably.
God.
I'll do that because I don't want to die in a
That'll
fire.
probably just trap the
it's
moisture.
90,
that-
they're 90s GM brake lines. You need to undercoat them
I would say
post haste.
it'll either be that.
buy one from the south.
It would
yeah.
be
that.
like a Buick Roadmaster,
Ooh.
like a Tucker mobile,
A B body.
like a B body. I'd be like something like along those lines, because I'm really curious what it'd be like to own one of those.
long
But
as
I
it's
don't
rear-wheel
want to
drive.
actually. I don't want to like actually spend money on the car,
Yeah.
or I guess
You are the embodiment of a C4 in my mind. So I think you need one, but I'd prefer if you had a nicer one.
well that's the thing. It's
Why not both?
yeah. I mean it's a C4. I don't care about it. I really could care. I can't even begin to care. I can try to begin to care and I'll die because it's just not possible for me. It'll take all of my effort out of my body.
So we buy beater cars to experience new things that
Yeah.
we think are dumb, but like, yeah, fuck it, it's a
Well,
beater.
I'm not gonna say dumb because I'm not sure. It's
I'm trying
something,
to extol the virtues of the beater car.
Yeah,
man.
no, the beater car allows you to explore the
Dordings.
world. Yeah,
Run the fucking thing into curbs, crash into shit, not care.
exactly.
That's,
Have a car that you're not really tempted to modify all that much.
Yeah.
yeah, or cheap mods, which are fun.
That's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
eBay tuned.
Because every single beater car I've had that I liked,
Yeah.
I did not modify that one. But I'm like,
Well-
you know what? I'm going to. This is on my list of future cars
That's
Yeah,
to
there you go.
buy that are actually nice. Now.
That's why I buy beater cars that are within my wheelhouse, though, because like my old my daily for like 4 years, Blau 30, that 84 blue 325E I had, like I motor swapped that thing, like full stop, and I put sway bars and shit on it. But like it's all
Well, yeah.
parts that I can just take out, and they're not going to get any worse in the winter beater shell.
Right.
So if it's something like that, where it's like you have no skin in the game, just like putting this in like this temporary vessel.
Well, my wheelhouse. Yours is very distinct. Mine
Yeah, I'm
falls.
pretty autistic, so
I've got two
fair.
categories. I want a car that's either as light as possible with a manual transmission,
uh-huh.
or something that you can use as a doorstop for a large door.
A
Like
B-body.
it's something in between those
Or
two.
better yet, a C4 because it's shaped like a doorstop.
Exactly. But then again, doing something like a B-body or something, that's something that's outside of my normal wheelhouse that I'm curious about.
Yeah.
So it's just
Just
it's
as
a
long
good
as you
way
don't
to
buy a fucking W body.
I would never ever buy a W body.
You
I've
did one
owned a
time.
W body. That was bought for me. I did not buy that.
You poor, poor soul.
No, I had it for 3 days.
You poor soul.
I took it off a giant jump and blew out all the struts and cracked the radiator.
Proper.
It was really cool. we
Just
were
gonna
listening to
send
Skid.
a-
We were listening to Skid Row while we were doing it. It was
That's
awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
think you
Yeah.
predated the Send It guy.
I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did probably. This is like 2011.
It
or
was,
so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's when
Yeah.
MAP was still in their old building.
He was
So,
visiting
like
me,
the
which
original
was, like,
one,
half
yeah.
a mile away.
So it was pretty cool.
Anyway, beer cars are great. World
Yes,
Cup of
they are.
Cars. This week we're doing Costa Rica
Yeah, we're doing some weird shit
versus
this year.
Serbia.
I need you to show everybody what the GM Amigo looks like. I would also put it up on the main screen
All
as
right,
well.
I'm gonna do it on the feed first.
Okay.
You said it's a GM Amigo.
Yes. It is just as quality. Yeah, for like a cheap car for people to drive. It is rear-wheel drive. It's got a GM 4-cylinder of that era from like a normal car.
Okay.
So it made like I think like 70 horsepower, which is insane.
Isn't that
for
also
that.
what we still have in mail trucks? Was this
Yes.
an Iron Duke or no?
No, this is not an Iron Duke.
Okay.
This is what they had right before the Iron Duke. The Iron Duke replaced this engine. But
I see.
4-cylinder rear-wheel drive, rear drums. It's kind of heavy. It's like 2,600 pounds because it apparently is made of lead.
On there. There we go. This is better. Totally forgot what I was talking about. Woo!
It's got a good size.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's made of very thick Russian sheet metal.
Yeah, if you can get to a picture of one maybe in silver or something, because I want to show off the body lines. This is what you get when that one. If you do not
the body lines.
if you do not design a car, like if
yeah,
you literally just don't design it, you get this. Because everything all the way down to the doors, where the doors like kind of curve up onto the roof, it's literally just an angle. There's no curve in the entire car.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure
This was designed from a metal allotment shed.
Yes, it was.
I'm pretty sure when I drew cars at like toddler age, like those are the angles that you draw when.
That's how
when you're
Ryan
drawing
still
a
draws
car.
them.
Yeah, no, it's because I like cars like that.
He only has rulers. He doesn't have a protractor.
I feel like
Yeah, well, it's
this is like it. Literally, if you did that, I think you could take this basic shape and make something really cool out of it, like with the silhouette of the car. Because I do like a few designs on it.
like an Oldsmobile silhouette.
I kind of I like the grill. I like that the grill dips inwards, kind of like on a 635. I think it's kind of cool.
You know what it reminds me of?
It does kind of have the shark nose.
Yeah, it's like a shark nose.
Jeff.
Oh
Yes, it looks
yes,
just like Jeff.
This is a slightly more aerodynamic Eagle Ham eye thrust. Eagle Jeff, whatever it was. Oh my
All right,
god.
so now that will be going up against the pride of Serbia, by extension Yugoslavia, because Serbia has not made a car since Yugoslavia. Well, they did, but they made like a weird, stupid semi-truck I don't care about. Can you type in the Zastava Yugo?
I am working on it.
GVX.
But the typing is.
I can imagine that's not easy to type
Oh my god.
in any
I
sense.
keep reading where I am on the screen here too. Yugo GVX.
Do you need me to stabilize the screen so it stops wiggling?
No, Ryan is always just that animated, so it's okay.
Or do you want me to wiggle it more?
That's good. Luckily, it's
So,
still
Whoa.
captures.
I have
okay.
to specify the GVX, because the GVX was actually the homologation racing
Oh,
model.
this is just a Yugo GVX.
Well, GVX, you're right. It's on GV, which is a normal one.
Right, not
The
a great value at all.
No, the GVX was the homologation race car. So by comparison, the Yugo GV had a 5.5 to 1 compression engine
Damn.
that made 55 horsepower. The
Ready for a turbo.
GVX had an 8.8 to 1 that made 88 horsepower.
So if GV stands for great value, what does X stand for?
Extreme.
I hope
Great
so.
value. Extreme.
You've heard of the X Games, right? The X stands for extreme. That's the same.
Actually,
thing.
the X in the X game
Basically,
stands,
it runs on Rockstar.
no, the X in X game
This
stands
is
for
my
Yugo
kind of car.
GVX.
Guys
So
is like, yes.
this car actually did have a pretty solid racing pedigree, like in the
So do I.
GVX trim, because they use basically what you do to make them fast. You use a lot of Fiat parts, kind of like the same way you'd make a Lotta fast.
I make everything out of Fiat parts.
But no, this one actually in Eastern Europe and actually just Southern Europe, and I think what was the lower class, like I think it was the Group D in the 1980s. It wasn't Group
what?
B 'cause for 1980s rally classification.
No idea.
I think it was WRC Group D or something, where you were racing against like
I thought
Peugeot.
WRC came around in the early 90s.
No, it was in the 70s.
Oh.
Because the Renault Alpine was the first car to win a WRC championship. But
That is a pretty car.
it was the class that was with like your normal Renault 5s and your Peugeot 205s, but not the GTIs, just the normal ones. Anyway, in that racing class, the Yugos like cleaned up on a lot of races. Like they were
I suppose they're pretty lightweight.
yeah,
I mean, 88 horsepower is kind of.
and they have a ton of shock travel on them. So yeah, they're really good cars. Like even factory, because of all the looseness on the suspension, make it a great car. So which one wins that?
I'm gonna go with the
Migo
Yugo
or the Yugo?
myself. I prefer the Yugo Extreme.
I like the GVX as well. I'm actually just legitimately a fan of the GVX. I would actually buy one.
I wouldn't
Spaz, what
buy
do you
one,
think?
but
Well, I mean, I'm kind of torn because Jeff looks rad. I don't remember what it was
Jeff,
called,
the
so I'm
little
just gonna
pickup
call
shark.
it the Jeff.
Yeah, that's
'cause-
fine.
The
yeah,
GM
look-
Amigo.
if you say that fast enough, it just turns into
Yes,
Jeff.
it sounds like Jeff. They both start with G.
Yeah.
But I'm also very much a sucker for things with racing pedigree.
Yeah,
Especially
so-
hatches.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
GVX
Hot
had
hatches.
a
And you could-
legit racing pedigree.
And you can put louvers on it, as I saw in one of those photos.
Yes.
I'm
It's
not,
of the era of louver. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't think Jeff would do so well
They
with louvers.
they also
Hey, well,
they also made a convertible Yugo.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a convertible version of the Amigo.
They probably did too. Somebody probably had a tree fall in their truck.
hey
and
guys,
cut their
Jeff
roof
is topless.
But no, they made a convertible version of the Yugo, and I can only imagine that the doors opened up whenever you took a turn. Because just from the amount of body movement, because I've been in a normal Yugo in very good condition, and they have the body rigidity of a wet box. Like, they're just not good.
Like, is that a
Tell me
euphemism,
again about
or-
wet boxes.
I did phrase it that way. Sorry, the Yugo wins against the Amigo. Yay!
Yay, great value extreme.
Yay.
Sorry.
Is that like goal?
No, I
Goal!
I was great.
Oh, someone's playing a Vuvuzela.
I was
Shoot them.
graying out the GM Amigo. I needed to have some filler, so I just kept saying yay.
So what the hell is this fucking thing?
This is called a Puma Gti.
Okay.
That was a car made in Brazil. The next matchup is to be Brazil versus Switzerland.
Well, I have Brazil up here.
This is a Puma GTI. It is a sports car based off of a Volkswagen. The GTI came with a Super Beetle engine, if I'm not mistaken, which is a fuel-injected larger displacer. Actually, it might have been a Vanagon engine, because I think it was like a 2.1 or something. Like, it was the last Puma. It was by far the highest performance one.
But it doesn't.
Isn't a Puma type of large cat?
Is it
Yes.
still rear engine?
Yeah, rear engine,
That,
rear-wheel
that is
drive.
that is a lot of hood for a rear engine vehicle.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know why they put the hood so long. Probably for aesthetics. So
I know for the aesthetics, for those who can't see, it almost has like a number of dots and vibes that I'm getting from it.
yeah,
It looked a lot like it looked like a Dino mixed with a 240Z.
that's kind of why I like it. Like, it's kind of cool. And it actually had a little bit of a racing pedigree. That was entirely privateered though.
Okay.
So just like a lot of like privateer stuff and like endurance racing and like just like club racing, but nothing to really write home about. Not like it didn't like win Le Mans or something.
And obviously
Level.
wasn't factory supported or anything like that. So
Please, there we go. So this is what it's competing against. I think we already know who wins.
Ooh.
This is the Monteverdi high speed.
375L.
Yes, and they also made a convertible version, but this one is far more attainable.
with that roofline,
Yeah, it looked amazing. It was.
I could see that going either way.
I honestly could too. I like them both.
If you just type in convertible at the end of it,
That's a lot of work, Ryan.
But yeah, this one's obviously a win. God, that interior is sexy.
It's the same color as the interior on my V10.
It's the same color as my interior.
For 1975, that's the coolest interior I've ever seen.
Oh God, yes.
That's probably the best interior of the 1970s.
Well, actually, I do see a problem with it.
Automatic transmission.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can get a manual, so who cares?
Oh, perfect.
It's like a Jag. It's got the reverse gate.
Yeah,
Parks down at the bottom.
But yeah, no, that's I think that one's obviously a winner. 375L. Monteverdi, one of the many people are pissed off by Ferrari started making their own cars.
No.
I don't know. I guess, yeah. If it's a majority rule, I guess. But I kind of like the Puma GTI.
Well,
it's cool. It's
Looks
cool.
like a
It's
weird,
definitely cool.
Looks like a weird Datsun Dino.
So
Which one's faster?
the Monteverdi high speed.
Then I'll take the
375L with
high speed 375L.
with 375 horsepower. That's what it stood for, if I'm not
Can I
mistaken.
change my Mondial Dilemma answer? Can I put a Monteverdi high-speed 375L drivetrain in it, please?
Sure.
That sounds
I
terrifying and horrible.
I think
No,
it was
I'm
a
not doing that.
Lamborghini V12 that they put under the hood of that. It was either that or Ferrari V8, one of the two. It made just a silly amount of power.
I'm sure the engines lasted a long time between
I
rebuilds.
do want to mention this other brand that I found when I was researching Brazil, because this is without a doubt the most unattractive car ever.
Well, get to it.
The Gurgle. Yeah.
It sounds like Modi when he's doing
Can you
stuff.
just bring up the Gurgle for everybody to
How
see?
do you spell your version of gurgle?
How do you think? Gurgel. It's
Like
just a
typing
horrible
car?
name. It's a car. Yeah. Car. Yeah, just Gurgle car. Images.
That looks like a really awkward 190E
Doesn't it?
Oh,
mixed with a
My
123. What are we looking at here?
I don't even know. I mean, other than
Is that-
pixels,
Oh,
because
Jesus.
there are a lot of pixels.
Yeah, you've
There are
got-
very few pixels,
Uh,
in fact.
There are a lot of visible pixels.
Oh, yeah.
Low
battery
battery.
warning.
I'll hit the low power mode, and then I'll plug into this here thingamajig. It
So,
has been streaming to the TV the entire over an hour so far.
I wanted to mention that. So what do we say? The Switzerland wins
I think
over
the gurgle.
the Gurgle was the winner.
No. The high speed whatever wins.
Yeah, the high speed. It was a wash. It's totally gonna be Switzerland.
And I'm kind of... We should right now probably decide what we're going to do from this list, because we are about 10 minutes from the end. And we
This last one's gonna be real quick.
we have a shit ton of stuff.
Not really.
Okay.
I'd say maybe.
Well, let's try. Let's go through it as fast as we can.
Yeah, we'll do this, and then let's do a Patreon at the end and see if we got time for it.
Okay.
We're gonna time attack the schedule.
The
right
last
now.
one.
Boom. Boom.
The last one this week is going for World Cup of Cars. This will be Germany versus Mexico. Germany obviously made everything. Mexico made the Mastrada MXT, which was reviewed on Top Gear.
Very yeah. There was definitely some red tape on that review from
Yeah.
Yes, there
Gear.
was.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
And Germany made Mr. Wags, which is the best car in existence. So
Yeah, so you chose Mr. Wags for your favorite car.
no, I chose it for MotorCult's
For
answer.
for MotorCult's
this
answer.
question.
I really want to mention the E30 M3.
That's fine. I drove one here today.
The W201.
I've had many of those,
Yeah,
including a
but
turbo
really
diesel.
all of the W201s, but particularly the Cosworth.
Anyway, yeah, Mr. Wags is the best German car, so it wins.
That wins
Yeah,
against
Mexico
the
sucks.
Mastrada.
Fine.
Well, no, they don't suck. It's just not a
they,
good car.
they do make delicious sugary beverage. And
And
probably
yummy
really
food.
good drugs. I don't know, but
And they make yummy food.
Patreon topic. I want to talk about this. Spaz, you can join us if you want.
Mhm.
It is. I picked kind of a simple one, but one that I liked. It is: what is the closest you've ever been to dying in a car? What's your scariest moment in a car? And what's your dumbest moment in a car? So, being we guessed, why don't you go first?
Oh boy. Probably closest moment to dying and scariest moment are probably one and the same.
Could you stop?
No, I can't stop.
Anyway,
If we
no,
weren't going to
so-
run into copyright issues, I would definitely play that. During
Yeah,
the-
so let's just hurry up.
So, so I'll cliff
Spaz,
notes.
tell us about that one time that your brakes just didn't work
I'll cliff
anymore.
notes the story. I had a 420 wheel horsepower Evo 8
420.
with blaze it. 420 wheel horsepower Evo 8 with stock suspension and basically no braking mods and
yeah.
Street.4 fluid. I took it up to Brainerd and I boiled brake fluid coming into turn 12, which, for those who are not familiar with Brainerd, is the tightest corner on the competition course.
It is a 90-degree corner.
Yeah, it's in my current car. It's actually, I don't have any good data from Brainerd on that corner of the tech, but I'd say it's probably 50, 60 miles an hour.
It's a 90-degree
And
corner.
I realized at about 105-ish
Oh my god.
coming into the braking zone that I did not have brake pedal. Boiled the fluid, pushed the pedal down, gave it a couple pumps, still had nothing.
Did you rip the e-brake like a pro drifter, yo?
No, I was more concerned with the NSX in front of me that I was going to hit if I didn't dip off the track. So I dipped off into the grass, and the car got loose. And at that point, I was just
Along
more-
for the ride.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily along.
Did
for
you
the
have
ride.
Jesus take the wheel?
No, I was behind the wheel.
Thank God.
Was that also
No
your
pun
dumbest?
intended.
Was that also your dumbest?
And it
Were all
probably
three
is
of these
also my dumbest.
portions?
I've done some pretty dumb stuff in a car before, but that was the planning up to that led up to that moment or lack thereof. Was definitely pretty dumb.
So, Berger, do you want to go or do you want me to
Nah,
go?
you go first. I'm still thinking.
So,
A lot to go through.
No.
probably the dumbest moment in a car actually happened to me during winter.
Oh.
Put my car in reverse and didn't look behind me. I backed into Miguel's truck. Didn't do
I
any
did that
damage,
to
but I just
Kurt
felt like
yesterday.
a moron. Yeah, that is the dumbest thing I've ever done with a car. Scariest thing I've ever done. That one's kind of tough. Same thing with closest I've ever been to dying in a car. Probably was just anything with Will and his like clapped out EFs with giant engines in them. Anytime you drive that, you're on the verge of death. So
Yikes.
yeah, we cleared the literally we're at the top of Top Gear in his transmission with a H22 swapped EF with no floor in it. because of rust. I dropped my pop out of a rust hole and I never got it back. So that
Pour one out for Ryan.
yes, that is the closest I've been to dying in a car because at any point in time my seat would have just fallen out of the car.
I'm going to go in reverse order for mine if you're done.
Yeah, I am. I don't really care about this
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it seemed like a good question, but now that I'm like reading through it, I'm like, I don't really know if this is very good. Because like scariest moment, I was allegedly in an M6 Grand Coupe that was quintupling the speed limit. That didn't feel safe. I was in the back seat. Dumbest moment, blowing up the Porsche and the carousel with all-season tires on it, I guess.
That's pretty dumb.
That's really dumb.
I did tell you not to send it.
For the
when
record,
when
let
I
it
sent
show.
you out, when
Spaz was at the hot pit entrance. He said, "Don't send it." And 3.5 laps later, I had sent it. And then the closest I've been to dying in a car, the Z3 got loose in turn 2 on a slightly damp track.
Oh,
In
that reminds me.
loose
was
in
top-
turn
I
2
was-
is not that bad.
I know, but I was top down. I was doing like 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, I've spun into it about that speed, so
You know how
it's not
AW11s
that bad.
That's the worst thing I got.
Do you know how AW11s are known for having snap oversteer?
No,
Yeah,
that's never
shocking.
that's never been a reputation.
So I was taking 35W north to 94 east allegedly at a high rate of speed.
I'm so
75.
proud of him that he's using allegedly all the time
Yeah.
now. This is great.
that speed may or may not have been like 75 miles an hour.
growing
It's a 25 mile an hour turn.
That's an advisory
Yeah.
posting. It's fine.
Anyway, the car kind of got a little squirrely, and there's a semi truck in like the inside lane. I was on the outside one, vice versa, because they were turning right.
Yeah.
Back into the car, pretty sure went underneath that trailer before I caught it. So that would probably be the closest I've been.
Yo,
to dying.
dog.
that-
I saw that in Fast and the Furious. It's totally fine.
Oh,
It was like maybe in inches from that truck. I calmed down after that. And that car, I sold it.
Modi
soon
is
after.
inches from, 2 inches from
But anyway,
anything.
so I want to talk about interesting engineering now, because this is something.
Okay.
Spaz, I preempted this by telling you that I have the most ridiculous race car ever that I've ever heard of, like made after World War II, and that is the Aria Mimia Mazda Shantez, and by extension Super Shantez. It's post-war, don't worry.
I know, but you said the words World
Yes.
War II.
So
That's almost
originally, so you guys can understand, let me preface this with what a Mazda Shantez is, because nobody knows what that is. Burr, can you throw it up on the screen for people? It is a two-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive K-car hatchback from Japan from the late 1970s. It is most definitely not fast. It has like 20 horsepower on a good day. Government mandated.
Of course.
Also happened to be Isami Amiyama's personal.
It's me, Amayamas.
I know, right? It happened to be his personal car. And with that car, he built it for highway street racing. That's what a normal one looks like.
Yes.
Now, Berger, on the screen on your laptop here, you will have a link to JapaneseNostalgiaCar.com.
All right, give me a moment. Yes, I see it.
That will give you a link to this vehicle.
Allow me to open the link and then
This thing is
transition the video.
Absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't wait. I had to pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
what she said.
So, Isami Amiyama took a 12A rotary with a...
Which is your Mondial Dilemma engine.
Yes, he did. Took a Weber 48 carburetor on it, SA22 RX7 brakes and limited slip rear differential, and put him into this car. Then turboed it and intercooled it. I have to specify that he intercooled it because that's not something that they normally did
No,
in the 80s.
not at all.
EGTs.
Yeah, basically. With
IAT detonation.
that, in 1980,
claim?
Street-worthy race car.
Okay.
Can you think of a more
it's up
ridiculous?
there.
It's got to be
definitely
up there. It's got to be up there because that's
It's pretty ridiculous, I grant. But the more I go on in my life, the more I realize like the amount of crap that's built that we don't see ever
that is true.
out there.
That
like,
we know of. That I know of. That's the most ridiculous
so much
car
bonkers
I've
potato
seen.
shit just hiding in barns everywhere in
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the Midwest. I'm just like,
That is very true.
People have done really, really dumb stuff that's actually amazing
Really
and then
great
hidden
dumb
it away
stuff.
from the world.
That's very true.
So when I build my flathead Ford twin turbo, I should leave it in a barn.
Yes, leave that in the barn.
But I want to make people hurt at car shows.
You should
you
also
should stay at the
probably
car
leave
shows.
the element in the barn too.
Yeah. The helmet
No,
would be hilarious.
no, that's going up to Brainerd. That's going to Power Cruise.
Anyway, Isami
Please do.
Akiyama.
That would be so great at Power Cruise. You can sleep in it too.
Isami Akiyama in 2016 rebuilt the car. Like I think it was actually the original chassis, but he rebuilt it with a 13B that was built with, I'm not sure how much power, but
Enough to blow the apex seals. Am I right?
it was he wide bodied it and did like all modern performance stuff for RX-7 on a car weighed 1,000 pounds. So there you go. That is our interesting engineering. It is not a factory thing.
I'm gonna pull up a couple
It
things
is just
from
a
Cars and
really
Coffee
cool looking
today,
car.
then. I want to show people this.
That is a Subaru Sandbar.
That
So I
is
saw this
awesome.
at Cars and Coffee today. I only take pictures of the really weird stuff now.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
all,
it's-
it's all
I
that
don't blame
matters.
ya.
This thing is CVT.
Yes, it is.
So bad. But the manual.
Yeah, Jana wants that car super bad.
Yeah. Hello Kitty
actually,
themed.
Jana and I,
165/45 R15s.
when this car first got imported, Jana and I were very close to buying it. We were negotiating with the person that had imported it, and somebody bought it for $500 more than what our asking
Damn it.
price was.
Now, when it came through customs, did it look like that, or has that been done since?
When it came into the country, it was different.
Okay.
Because it was originally, I think, like some like weird like goldish beige, and had one mismatched fender on it, and so he had to repaint it. So he just did a full Hello Kitty.
That's just incredible.
And an XLR. Because you don't see them.
Oh God, no.
It's a worse, more expensive Corvette, but it has a
Does that
retractable
say it's a
hardtop.
North Star in it?
They're supercharged North Stars.
Yeah. GM managed to take their flagship car and ruin it.
Yeah, they did.
I don't want a C5, and I do want an XLR though. I would love an XLR.
I don't want either. All I want is a C4.
That'd be fine, but like I want an XLR and do dumb shit with it. Like, hey, put
So,
an
As,
LS
what
in
is
it.
your one weird American car or GM product that's rear-wheel drive that's relatively new that you want?
That is a good question.
Like
Is
a
it a
WS
CTSV wagon 6-speed?
Is it a WS6 Trans Am?
No.
Is it a Hennessy twin turbo Escalade? What's your digs?
Because everybody has like one. It seems like everybody's got one weird American car. It's just stupid.
Yeah, you gotta have something that's American that you're kind of like, that's interesting. Chevy SS. Nothing.
Yeah, I have to say
Trailblazer SS?
Trailblazer SS would be the way I would
But
have
the
to go.
4065 is so terrible.
Trailblazer SS.
You can put a different trans in
Eh,
it.
You really can't. I mean, you can if you make it rear wheel drive. for
Trailblazer
drag.
That's
SS.
fine.
All right, 480 then. That's fine.
Trailblazer SS with a Saab 97X Aero body.
No,
on it.
how would just a Saab 97X rear wheel drive? with a
Aero.
decent
It has to be the
trans?
Aero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Yes. Okay, fine. That's
On
best.
that bombshell.
All right.
I think we
I'm
should
Hit
in the
stop
podcast.
streaming.